Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of F1 2005, and very weird turn of events here. I actually just did this Grand Prix and I finished, I'll keep that a secret, I finished somewhere, but unfortunately after the Grand Prix I went to accept a new contract offer from Toyota and the game crashed and I didn't have it saved. So we're going to do this Grand Prix again. So it wasn't that I did a terrible job in this last Grand Prix. Believe me, I would have taken the result I got. But yeah, I'm a little bit gutted that when I went to take the offer from another team, it didn't work out. So it looks like I'm not going to be racing for that team, which was Toyota, when I do this race again. So it's a little bit unfortunate. I felt like that was going to be a cool opportunity to move forward and go to a different team. But if it's going to glitch out and crash, I guess I can't really do that. So that kind of sucks. But it's, I guess, a thing with these old discs that some of them are slightly scratched. And I guess some of the data is lost when they're slightly scratched. So yeah, as I've done practice already, I've done a whole race worth of practice. I'm just going to skip all this and go straight to my qualifying session. So it's not like I'm just skipping practice. I believe me, I've done a few laps, but that's not saying I'm any good. So let's see, down to the first corner. Our first qualifying run here on the Saturday. Let's try and hit the braking point perfectly. Good. Nearly ran wide there over the second apex. That could have got us a penalty of some sort, so we need to be careful of that. I actually started last for the race that I did a minute ago because I made a mistake on my second qualifying run, which meant the track lap was invalidated. I think it was this corner here I accidentally cut a little bit too much, and I gained a bit of time off course, but I got a slow down penalty and it invalidated my lap time. So that kind of sucks, but that's the way it is, and it was still an interesting race. So that's why I'm a little bit gutted that I wasn't able to show it to you guys because of the game. But nonetheless, it gives me another opportunity to try and improve on my race result. So let's see. First qualifying run. How's this going to be? Oh, slightly wide there. That definitely loses you a bit of time there. It's sort of an auto slowdown area there on the edge of that part of the track. So that definitely does slow you down. Got to be careful. Got to be careful. Round, hit the parabolica. Up to the start finish line. This was probably a better lap time than I did on either of my runs last time. Oh, something I should mention actually is that I'm not using any sort of setup now, so that's something I'm trying to do to make sure that I don't qualify on pole position by like 3 seconds. Is I'm not using any sort of setup. So you can see here, we go on here, that's just all on what it was before. So yeah, that's just all the basic stuff here. So let's skip to the end of the round. 12th, that's actually a bit better than I was before. I was 14th, I think, on my first run last time, so slight improvement. But yeah, oh, that's not the right button. Montero's last, okay. See, the thing that confused me about the last one was Montero finished, I think, 11th in that race I just did. So I was like, what's going on here? Right, okay. So I can't change any of this. Okay, so I just have to put on lap number 3. Right, skip to player and start qualifying session. Let's go. Let's see if this lap time can be a bit better. Run down to the first corner. Try and hit the braking point. Oh, we actually braked a bit early there. Might have got us a better run though, we don't know. We'll see when the lap time comes at the end. I think we did a 26 something in that first run. Was it a 26.5 I think we did in our first run? So I feel like if we can match that, we might be able to sneak into the top 10, because normally people go slower on their second run because they're carrying more fuel. Okay, that, I don't know if that was a good line through there or not. Felt alright. I think my aim is still points without this setup on. I'm not even sure whether the 100% legit setup would have worked too well at this track anyway, because of course that was running high downforce, and on this track you don't want to run high downforce. So maybe you can get a trick setup for Monza as well, I don't know, but it's weird, I won't gonna lie. I'm a little bit disappointed that I found that. I don't know if it's a glitch really, but that method of doing good. But the car's definitely nowhere near as good when it comes to just having the basic setup on the car. So, the run down to the parabolica. This has been probably a slightly better lap, but of course we're probably carrying a little bit more fuel, so We'll see how this lap time compares to the rest of the guys that have already done their lap time. So I think it was a 1:26 before, and as we're heading up to the start finish line, it's going to be a 1:26.008. So that was a bit quicker than my last lap. So that might actually put me in the top 10, considering people would have gone. What has gone on there then? Oh, okay, makes sense. Makes sense. That lap, yeah, that last. Okay, I'm so confused. It's because obviously I normally qualified right at the front in that first session, which meant I went right at the end. But of course, qualifying halfway in the first qualifying session means you go halfway in the second one, which put me to the top of the times. But I was only ahead of people that I was already ahead of. I think that makes sense. But nonetheless, I start in the top 10, which is nice. And where did Montero starts 19th? Okay, he started 12th in that last race, so that's a bit gutting for him. He was about about 4 or 5 seconds slower overall than he was last time. Anyway, it's time to move on. Let's get to the race of Italy. I'm not going to do anything too silly because I'm not sure exactly how far up the order I'm going to be able to get here. Of course, only one place to get into the points, or the point. So I would like to get a point, at least from this race. But we'll see. So Montoya's on pole, Michael Schumacher's in second, Barrichello is in third, Alonso, Fisichella, Raikkonen and Coulthard and Clint. A good job there from Red Bull, both qualifying with exactly the same time in 7th and 8th. I'm there in 9th and then Button in 10th. Interesting. Red Bull were quite far down the grid in that last race they did as well. I don't know whether it's just completely random, these qualifying sessions, but that seems to be the case, because obviously Montero went from 12th to 19th or whatever, and the Red Bulls are starting 7th and 8th when they were like 16th and 17th in the last one. It's odd. Let's go. Coulthard does the chop. I'm not sure exactly what he was trying to achieve there, but anyway. Down the inside of him. I think this is Christine. Or was that Coulthard? I'm not sure. Oh. Okay, that didn't work. Down to P10. Not the greatest start in the race. Sorry, not the greatest start in the world. So now to try and fight back and gain a few positions. I think that was Felipe Massa carving his way through the field in the Sauber. He finished P4 in that last race. I'm not going to keep telling you what happened in the last race because we're obviously now focusing on this one. But it was obviously interesting to see the differences. This is such a fun track to drive. And even in this era of games where the physics weren't particularly amazing, it still is really good. I love going to this race in real life as well. The atmosphere is intense throughout. Every single lap the Ferrari fans are cheering their drivers. And obviously it was nice to see a Ferrari driver go for the victory, even though they didn't eventually get it. But it was nice to see at least Kimi battling for a victory in Monza. And yeah, it was a great experience. I would recommend anyone going to Grand Prix to consider Italy, because with the flights, the hotels and the event ticket, it was actually nearly the same price of just getting the general admission ticket at Silverstone. That's how expensive Silverstone is, unfortunately. I'm not sure why they try and price them so insane, but you know, the general admission tickets in Italy were awesome as well, like grandstands for general admission. It's pretty cool. Anyway, let's focus on this race. Focus on me. So I think I'm only behind both Ferraris, both McLarens and both Renaults right now. So that was a good start to this race. I'm not sure realistically whether anything above P7 is going to happen. So it's probably more of a task to keep this little pesky Sauber behind us than going ahead. But we'll obviously not give up. Not my motto to give up. But I think Kimi Raikkonen and the lads are probably a bit too quick for me in this race. But I'll keep on charging. Is it a Ferrari? Oh, okay. I thought that was going to be a penalty. I was sure of it. I think, is it a Ferrari 1-2? I can't quite make it out from the minimap because they're so far ahead. Or is there a McLaren in the lead? Yeah, there's a McLaren in the lead. So Montoya must be leading this race. Then I'm assuming it's probably Michael Schumacher. Then Rubens Barrichello. Then the two Renaults. Then Raikkonen. Then me. Then... Was that Villeneuve? Wait, I thought it was Massa. I'll have to see when I come across the line. Was it Villeneuve? I was shook there for a second. So no setup, remember that. No setup. This is the standard setup on the car. But we're doing a good job, to be fair. It is Jack Villeneuve. Okay, I'm slightly surprised by that. Of course, he went on to race for BMW Sauber, sorry, in 2006 for a little bit. Oh, one of the Renaults is in the gravel. I think that's Fernando there. Fernando, the eventual champion in 2005, is not having a particularly great season in my game. He's really struggling. He's been caught by Jordan. What's happening? Oh, not the smoothest line through that corner, but we didn't lose too much time to him. So obviously the custom setups were helping, but I still am able to find a bit more pace in the race than quali. I'm probably not quite as quick as these guys. I'm not just you know, saying it, but I feel like I have had a pretty smooth race so far. Famous last words, eh? Oh, what's a big old corner gut from Fernando? If he can do it, why can't I? Haven't lost too much time to him though. I don't know really what to do because I don't want to move to a better team like I was going to do if I'm actually doing this well in a Jordan. It's on the hardest difficulty. Oh, there we go. Famous last words came back to bite me in a matter of half a minute. So time to just throw it in pit lane. So I need to remember what buttons it is. I think it's circle and square. The buttons I need to press. Right, let's see what happens. Circle. Circle, square. Good pit stop. Oh! Oh! That is surely an unsafe release. There's oil out on track. Someone's retired from this race. Mechanical issues and I might jump both the Renaults. Where's this slippery surface flag then? I'm ahead of both Renaults. What's going on? Where's the blown up car as well? I see all these slippery surface flags all over the place. Oh, no, it's been brought in now. Oh my goodness, how am I ahead of both Renaults? I started 9th on the grid. Oh my goodness. Fernando, that was a mad one, mate. That was insanely quick through there. I mean, I know I messed up the corner, but he was flying through there. He was not appreciating there's a Jordan in front of him. And remember, I spun at the Parabolica, so I'm not sure how I gained so much time there. Fisichella might be a little bit easier to keep behind, but let's not count our chickens just yet. Right, okay. Fernando, I know you don't like to see a bit of yellow in your mirror, but I'm coming for you. Or at least I'm trying. So I want to know who retired from this race. I mean, I wonder if it is one of the top guys. Whoa, I gained a lot of time there on the brakes. I'm not going to overtake him, am I? I'm not going to overtake Fernando. Side by side! Oh, there's a Sauber flying out the pit lane. He's a good pit stop. Yeah, he's just too quick in a straight line. Right, penultimate lap of this race. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to get Fernando, but it's cool to be battling with them, but I kind of feel like, of course I shouldn't be here in the first place, and also that Renault, they should have been programmed a little bit better because, oh, that's going to be a penalty. Yes, it was. But yeah, I feel like Renault should have been the quickest car in the game, but they're not, so it's very weird for me. So I did watch the 2005 season, not fully, that I can remember. I wasn't as into it as when Lewis Hamilton joined in 2007, but I definitely watched the 2005 season, just not as, you know, not every qualifying session, not every practice session, not every race like I did in 2007 once Lewis came in. But yeah, I definitely watched this season, and I know for a fact that this was Renault, this was their dominant season, because in 2006 Ferrari closed the gap. I think McLaren, if anything, were probably a quicker car than Renault in 2005, to be honest. They just were so much more, or so much less reliable. Okay, this hasn't been the smoothest lap in the world, that's for sure. Some more cars in pit lane, or are they retirements? I think they're 2 retirements. I'm not sure what 2 cars they are, to be honest. Oh, Fizzy's coming, he's flying, put him off with a bit of a jink down the straight. Oh, slight lock up there. He's right up my trumpet, I think, as That's a Jeremy Clarkson Top Gear quote, so that's cringy that I just said that. Anyway, just... go on. We need some power. I literally feel like Fernando Alonso right now. Oh, the slippery surface. Someone retired, or is a Tifosi throwing a flare on the track? We don't know yet. Oh, was it there? I think there might have been something down there. I've lost the position. No. No, no, no. I lost the position to Fizzy. Damn it. Right, so Felipe. Okay, so we got a nice old slipstream from him. Past him. Right, I'm just going to go all out here to try and beat Fizzy. I'm gutted that mistake cost me some time, but I've had a mega run through here. Ah, my goodness, the slipstream effect. Then he's going to suddenly, I'm going to hit a wall and he's going to be able to go quicker than me again. Oh, there's a car blown up there. It's a Dinker McLaren. Oh my goodness. I've gained 4th position on the last lap of this race. Up to the start finish line. It's going to be P4. What's going on? What is going on? Wow. And who wins the race? I can't tell. Is that Rubens? I think that's Rubens. It is Rubens. Rubens wins by nearly 7 seconds over Michael. I think, I could be wrong there, but I think Montoya retired there on the last lap of the race. And did both McLarens retired? Yes, they did. Oh, so it was Raikkonen. Raikkonen was the one that retired. Montoya retired earlier on. Wow. And Massa finished 15th. As I was saying in my last time I did this race, he finished 4th. Oh my goodness. 5 points. Up to 9th in the standings. Still a big gap to David Coulthard. But anyway, I'm happy. That was a good race. I did not expect that. The setup definitely helped. But I think of all the tracks, it wouldn't have helped. It would have been here. So to be fair, I'm happy with that. So I'm going to save now, because I don't want any sort of more issues with the game crashing again like it did. So I'm just going to overwrite that process. But yeah, thank you for watching as always, guys. Massive thanks to your support on this series. Please, as always, remember to drop a like on the video, because it does help me out massively grow the channel. So just, yeah, keep doing that if you can do so. And subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys around soon for another episode. Goodbye.